What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 54 of the Tasty Cast, our weekly podcast where we talk about things, we react to videos, we do a bunch of random shit. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And a quick reminder to play Knack and Rhyme, both are for free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, and come back next week at the end of the month for Plus Club. We'll be talking about our opinions on those games. Let us know yours. And our game of the month also, we'll be having our episode next week, is Ark Survival Evolved. It's you guys pretty much already know what the fuck it is. So make sure to play that. We're going to play it because we've been slacking on that, and we'll be talking about that next week.
Monster Hunter's fault.
Monster Hunter, and yeah, there's been a lot of things released recently, and this is just a really bad month to find a way to deviate from games that obviously are holding our attention more.
Right.
I'm sure you guys understand. But with that, we start out every Tastecast talking about what we've been playing, and I think it's safe to assume that we've been playing Monster Hunter. I played a couple other things, but what have you been playing?
I played Knack and Rhyme. I'm going to probably play a little more Knack. I've gotten the gist of my opinion for Rhyme. Obviously come back to see those. Other than that, I've only been playing Monster Hunter. Just to kind of keep it short on that, I beat the storyline.
Yay!
Yeah. I did the dual, I'm going to mess up its name, so I'm just going to say B52s, the tempered ones to break your level cap, and I'm heading towards the
Basil juice.
Next wall, which will be, I believe, Tempered
Kieran. Yeah.
So, but I'm not there yet. I'm right now farming for a Nergigante gem, which is not dropping for me.
Yeah, and we discussed this already, but Almixai, regular on the channel, and a dude that's in the Discord, you guys should join the Discord. He was saying that he was having problems getting the gem. It took him like a day or two to get it. I actually got it like on my second fight with Nergigante, so I guess I got very lucky. I think I also have a second one, so if I could give it to you, I would.
I have two Xeno gems, but I don't have...
Really?
Yeah, I don't have a
I think I
single
have one or
Nergigante
two of those too.
Yeah, I got... Before going to work today, I got both horns and a gem in the same run. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talking about Monster Hunter, I've also been playing it primarily. I mean, well, no, I've actually taken a pretty good break from it. I took kind of a week off. It's kind of allowing you guys to like catch up a little bit. And the only reason that was even the case because I took that week off when the game came out, gave me a lot of time to cruise through the game.
You still probably have close to double my playtime.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done a lot of random shit though. But yeah, been playing that, but not as much as I was before because I've been taking a break and trying other games out. We'll get into that in a sec, but pretty much what I'm doing in Monster Hunter right now is I am and have been 49, and you know once I kill Tempered Kieran, I'll probably be 50 something, maybe 60, I don't know. But yeah, I attempted Tempered Kieran once. It one-shotted me with electricity, which is very crazy for me because I can't remember the last time that's happened. I've been playing the game pretty comfortably for a while now, and I ended up failing that mission. So I went back and started farming high-rank Kieran, which is completely manageable and easy. So it's funny how much of a difference it makes. I also have a Valhazak tempered quest, which I'm sure a lot of you guys who are really far in the game, it doesn't sound very crazy, but for me, like it's one of my first like investigations that's a tempered quest, so it's pretty cool.
Gotten one yet.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that because I haven't hit 50 yet. But yeah, hoping next time I play to go in there. I've farmed the Kieran outfit, so I have that thunder resistance. Hoping to kill it. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Other than that, I've been taking a break from the game. I was playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I think is a diamond in the fucking rough. I think it's a very good game, and it seems like a lot of people are agreeing with that. It's actually getting really good reviews, which is a fucking crazy surprise, because this game is buggy as fuck.
That's what I've heard as well. Yeah.
So buggy, but that's the thing, is the game's that fucking good that people are overlooking it. And people are super self-entitled when it comes to video games. So, like, if there's even one issue, they're gonna be like, this game's fucking shit. I can't believe they did this to us. I can't believe I spent $60 on this. And it's like, this game made by, people, Warhorse, I think that's the name of the company. Nobody knows them. They made this game and fucking, it's buggy as hell, and people are still really digging it, which is great. I think IGN gave like an 8, which is really high.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, for a game like this. But I'm really enjoying it. Like I've said before, I think it's one of the most accurate portrayals of like history in a game, and it is the closest thing I've experienced in my life to what it'd be like to live in the Middle Ages. It's very cool. Although very difficult. This is a very hardcore game, and a game you want to take your time with. Something that our buddy up north, Jeremy, was telling me. He's like, just take your time with this game. This isn't really a game you want to just run through. I mean, you get into a fight with one person, and there's a possibility they might kill you. The combat is very... it's not slow paced, but it's very methodical. If you get good at it, you actually start to swing quite a bit. I got to a point where... you're able to like jump out of the way of the blade. You can also block the blade. You can like what's that called? Riposte the blade. So if they swing, you can kind of use their inertia against them and throw their blade out of the way.
I'm not good with the terms, but
Yeah, you can do that. I got to a point where this dude was like on the offensive, and I was just like hitting his blade out of the way, and I started swinging at him, and he started backing up, and he's like blocking and shit, and I started stabbing at him and stuff. I was like, this is crazy. This is like an actual sword fight.
right.
But yeah, the game's awesome. If anyone's on the fence thinking about getting it, if you can handle bugs, buy it. I'm not going to flat out say, go get it, because you might be somebody who hates that shit. You're going to buy it, what the fuck? But it's really good. Also been playing quite a bit, actually. It's funny. I went into Best Buy early in the morning, the day that Secret of Mana released. I was hoping to find a physical copy. Of course, I didn't. So I went to fucking GameStop. They didn't have it either. They were like, fucking, we're all reserved. So I went back to Best Buy. I'm looking at the games or whatever, and I look at fucking Dynasty Warriors 9. And I was so fucking pumped for it, as most of us were. And then I heard all the bad shit about it, which is really disappointing. And I just kept looking at it, and I kept looking at the price tag. I'm like, $60, maybe if it's $20, I'll give it a try. Josh even said it was horrible, and he wasn't even here for that discussion on the show.
Right.
I just talked to him. He's like, this isn't good. And I was like, fuck, okay, well, if you say that, that's kind of puts the final nail in the coffin. But I'm so disappointed that I can't buy this game that I was so excited for, that I kind of glance over, and there's a game called Warriors All Stars, made by the same guys. It is from Japan, it's like they're all from Japan, but like it's a very Japanese game. It's got like a bunch of characters from a bunch of Japanese games that I don't think I've even played or heard of. A couple of them I have.
I think they're all Koei Tecmo games.
Yeah. But like I think some of them aren't from here, because there's some characters I don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah.
But like William from Neo's in it, and a couple guys from Dynasty Warriors, and what's their samurai game? Samurai Warriors?
Samurai Warriors,
Yeah,
yeah.
they got 2 people from that, 2 people from Dynasty Warriors, and then there's actually extra characters as well that are from those games that aren't in the roster, so I think you might be able to unlock them. But I saw that, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy that. Fuck, it's $20. Like, what could go wrong? I looked it up. It had good reviews. It's getting like 7 and 8s. So I was like, that's better than what Dynasty Warriors 9 is getting, and I really wanted to play a game like that. So I got it, and it's actually really cool. A lot of the characters, like I said, I don't recognize, but like there's a little, oh God, what the fuck is his name? That great Japanese leader that
Nobunaga?
Yeah, it's him, except for it's a short version. It's a cat, and he's dressed up like he's got a little mustache. He's got the same hair. He's got like a really deep voice when he talks, and everybody like looks at him. And he's like always tell him they have to like obey him, and he's the commander now. And his moves are interesting because, as you'd normally be hitting, he just kind of like shoots, and then his cats will come out and start shooting, and they'll line up in front of him and all shoot at the same time and like circle him and shoot in every direction.
Right.
And it's really funny. I like how, because it's a game that's kind of like an amalgamation of all those other games, all the characters coming together, it doesn't hold itself to like being like a Chinese historical game or Japanese historical game or Neo. It's all these different random characters and like levels from all their worlds as well. So there's a lot of variety in the game. Plus, it reminds me of a lot of Japanese games as well, because there's a friendship system to it. As you play, you can unlock new guys, cards. You get new cards of the same guy, and the cards will have different stats. So you can use a card, and some of them will have an open spot you can add things to change their stats. But as you play them, their levels will go up, but also your friendship levels will go up, and then they start becoming more you get a better relationship, but like they play better together, which is kind of neat. There's also moves you can do with certain guys together that you unlock as your friendships go up. So I have two chicks that if they're together and I got their Musu moves up, they do a joint Musu move. You can also press whatever buttons, doesn't matter, and you can link with that person, so you now control them, but there's electricity between you and you're controlling both characters.
Okay.
As you fight everything.
It's funny that the friendship system, when you bring it up, it reminds me of stuff like in Persona 5, how the closer you are with your friends, the more times they'll assist you in combat, and the more like abilities they get and stuff like that.
Or kind of like
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. Yeah. That's what it reminded me of. I haven't played Persona 5 enough to get into the friendship stuff because I'm still in the tutorial. 5 hours into the tutorial. But that's why I say it's a very Japanese game, because that's not really a concept you see in Western games a whole lot. Just the fun mechanics of a game versus the immersion of Western games.
The other thing you brought up too that I wanted to note on real quick was Nobunaga, or I just totally screwed up his name, but in Fate Grand Order they have that character as well, and it's just some like really kind of short, smug, kind of smug-looking chick with a rifle. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I know he's also in. He's in a bunch of stuff, like fucking Civ, but he was also in Neo, and he was portrayed the exact same way. So obviously they got that whole mentality of him being a strong, sturdy leader type. It's just funny to see that in the shape of like a little fat cat. Yeah. It's just like, it's funny. Like there's these two characters from some game series. I don't know what it is, but they're like robots or something. I don't know. And he like runs into one, and he's like, he's like, you're gonna start doing my bidding. She looks at him, and she's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, I'm the leader. Blah blah blah. And she's like, no, my dad is Satan. He's the leader. And then he's like, you will fucking obey me. And then you have to fight her. And it's like, what the hell's going on, dude? This is such a fucking, it's like an anime. You were saying you're interested in the game, though. I would definitely say you should pick it up, or at least play my copy. I bought it physically. But if anybody else out there, the game hasn't even been out that long, and I completely just overlooked it.
I'm sure a lot of people did.
Yeah. But it's $20 now, and I'm really enjoying it. I like the deeper systems in it. Like at first I was like, it's a Dinosaur Wars game. You run around, you hit shit, and hopefully you unlock new weapons. But like the card system, having ratings, there's missions just like in Fire Emblem where like you'll talk with people on your team and they're like, I need you to do a mission for me. And then you go do it and it increases your friendship with them. There's a bunch of little macro systems or micro systems in the game that make it more interesting than what like Dynasty Warriors 9, I'm going to assume, can offer.
That's generally a big reason I have a affinity towards Japanese games in the first place. They're really good at like having a lot of little systems and like micro games in place. And
well, me and you talk about it like fucking almost way too much, but it's worth noting. Like Japanese games have made a comeback. It's been like a couple of years now, so it's easy to say it's here and it's staying. But it's kind of making me realize I got so set in playing Western games there for a while because they were just killing it. And I love them, obviously. There's a bunch of things like The Last of Us that I have not seen a Japanese game really nail in that kind of storytelling and immersion. But going back to these games, that's one of the things I miss is the fucking gameplay.
Yeah.
And that's something that Japanese games do so well. And of course, Western games do it as well. But like a lot of them have very similar systems of like take cover, shoot. It's a first-person shooter. It's an action game. Mash the button. But like in a lot of Japanese games, it seems like it's going to have those systems, but like it has smaller systems, and it's constantly telling you like, okay, now you have this unlocked. This will do this, this, and this. And you're like, okay, well, there's more to it. And then you get a little further, and like, okay, now this is unlocked. Here's some more things you do. And it's like, it's not just like, here's a new weapon, here's a new weapon, here's a new weapon, here's a new weapon, here's a new weapon.
Here's a new gameplay feature. Here's a new gameplay feature. Yeah.
It's constantly evolving the experience, which is super investing, man. Like it's hard for me to stop fucking playing those type of games because like it's got all these minor things that I'm just constantly like going like, I could start working on this and level that up. I really like what's happening here. I'm gonna keep doing that.
What I was pretty much saying before when I was saying anytime I sit down to play Persona 5, like all of a sudden I'm just there. For hours, because there's just so much little things to do, and the way the game's day system set up, you're just it's like the next turn button essentially, you know. So
I need to play that more, man, because I liked what I played, and it only sounds like it gets better. So
it gets way better. Yeah, the beginning is super slow, but
and I even enjoyed it. So I should just fucking play it.
it's really good.
How long is it to beat?
I'm over 60 hours and I haven't beaten it yet, so
You're probably doing every little thing though.
yeah.
I've made a habit in life now that when I play a game, unless I'm super fucking invested in the world, for my own sake and my ability to beat the game, I just start doing the fucking main quest until I either can't and I have to do stuff to get better, or I'm finding things on the way there that are interesting and worth my time. Because again, a lot of Western games, specifically Ubisoft games, have created so many side quests now.
Too much.
That you lose track of the game itself, and you've played it so much without progressing through it that you fucking get burnt out.
I think Persona 5 makes it almost impossible to get too sidetracked because the game is like you have a deadline to finish your quests. So you want it becomes a micromanagement system of, am I going to have a social life with my character today, or am I going to go level up? Mm-hmm. And you have to do both, because you have to level, obviously, to be able to fight, but in order to get more moves, you have to have a social life. So you just kind of like, I'll start a day, and depending on who calls me that day, I'll decide from that, okay, am I having a social life, or am I going to go grind today? So
Yeah, it's funny how, like, when I was younger, I wanted more and more and more and more, and I still like the idea of it, but I think there needs to be structure to it. I think, for instance, it's an odd one, but Evil Within 2, they open up the world and they create side quests, but they're a limited amount. They're not like randomly generated or whatever, and they all have a storyline that's interesting, and it all connects with the main storyline. It's not just like, hey, I've been surviving, help me out. It's like, oh, I was part of the team you're looking for. Fucking, I need access to the computers. If you can do that, I'll help you out in this way. You don't have to do it, but you want to, and it also progresses the storyline. It's a structured side quest, which I really dig, because we got into an area there for a while where it almost felt like they had like an algorithm going like, okay, well, when you're level 16, random quests are going to pop up with parameters of like enemies are going to be 15 to 18, items you can get are going to be here, and like it's all going to be randomly generated, which is great and fine, but like but you just kind of get lost in that, trying to like mid-max every fucking thing you have at that time frame, and then you take a baby step forward in the storyline and you start doing it again, and that always wears me the fuck out.
Well, actually, to bring up
and plus I like feeling like I'm completing shit.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, like, so Skyrim is probably a good example of that for me. I played that game a lot. I went through and I beat pretty much everything in it, and then I realized that I was starting to get into the randomly generated quests, essentially. And I was just like, I think I'm done, because I don't want to, like, this isn't why I'm playing this game.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Ubisoft games. Assassin's Creed's really bad about that, having so many extra things to do on the map.
Unity had the most side shit I've ever seen in a fucking game,
and it's all unnecessary.
Yeah.
So it's literally just,
they could have had a third of it and it would have been fine.
Yeah. In instances like that, it is good to just kind of buckle down and just beat it. I think in instances, to use Persona 5 as an example again, or even I think Persona 5 is probably the best example. I was going to say Final Fantasy 15, but there's a lot of stuff you can skip in 15. So.
I've been wanting to play that recently.
You should at least just get through the story. I honestly think you'll enjoy the ending of it. So I need to go back and play the episodes since they're all out. And I didn't play much of the multiplayer DLC, and I really...
Is it out?
Yeah, it's been out.
Oh.
You get to make a character, you go through quests, you level up, et cetera, et cetera. It's a little bare bones that I've heard, but...
Still?
Well, I don't know how much updating they've done to it. Speaking of 15 real quick, did you see that the PC version is getting free playable demo, which is essentially the first chapter of the game?
Okay.
And then they're also getting a Gordon Freeman DLC with the Steam copy.
Really?
So you can dress up just like him.
That's fucking ridiculous.
We were making jokes online about Half-Life 3 is here. Oh wait, that's
Fucking finally, Square Enix had to make it.
Anyways, Warriors All Stars.
Yeah. It's awesome. I like it. Definitely pick it up if you're interested in that kind of game. We just went on about all the fucking systems it has those. So if you're into that, play it, and it's got the same gameplay as the other Dynasty Warriors. So it's very similar. Another game I played again was Children of Zodiarcs. Picked that up again, which is a turn-based RPG. Really dig that game. I was kind of afraid to pick it up again because I was like, am I going to be able to like beat the next level? I haven't fucking been playing this. I did it fucking barely, but I did it at the very end. I had 3 people. One person died midway through the fight, but both of my people were like almost dead. I was trying to get my second person over to heal my other person because they didn't have a whole lot of health left when she was fighting the boss, and I was kind of just over turns, like hitting back and forth, and it finally got down to the point where it was his turn. I'm like, well, she's dead. She's gonna fucking die. He is about to hit her. It shows the numbers. It shows that she's gonna have 1 fucking health when she survives, or when she gets hit by him. She's going to do a counterattack, though, when she gets hit, and he's going to die. So I was like, so I hit the button, and it fucking ended. I was like, holy shit. It's turn-based, and I was like, fuck! Like at the edge of my seat, like, oh my God, it's the best thing that could have happened. She barely made it. So that game is really fun. I'd like to beat that game. I can't imagine it's that long. It's an indie-developed game, but really fucking fun. And then played Fortnite a little bit, kind of. They just updated it.
3.0.
Yeah. They have some new stuff out. I guess there's a hoverboard you can use now, and a new hero that you can play as. I believe there's some weapons because they're celebrating Chinese New Year. And Josh, if you're watching this, they changed the music at the fucking menu, so you're gonna be very happy about that because it's less eerie. You start the game up, and it's just like. It's like, ooh, just creepy. And now it's like normal music. So it didn't bother me that much, but I know it really bothered him. I thought it was kind of weird. That was like whoever is like the sound engineer there or the producer of music there. I don't know why they were like intro music to a fucking cartoony cooperative game. Let's make it fucking ambient and fucking creepy. Very weird.
Well, zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking Call of Duty's got like goddamn metal playing and shit. Yeah, so those games I played. Also, Knack and Ryan played those. I'm not going to go into my opinions on those. I liked one. I didn't like one. That's probably too much information. But we'll talk about that next week. And yeah, I think that's it. I think it's all the things I played. Actually, like I said, took a break from Monster Hunter, so I had a chance to play with things.
Play some stuff, yeah. I'm hoping to get to a point where like I don't need to sit down and invest as much time as I have been in it. I have a catalog of games I still need to finish from a year ago.
Yeah, I wanted to get to the point where I was done with all the main stuff, and now I'm just kind of like I can hop in and do like a couple fucking investigations or whatever, and it's more casual now. We got a couple people who watch the channel regularly too, kind of on the same page at this point. So it's kind of nice because it's definitely something I want to play like all the time, but I don't feel like I have to devote my time to it because like earlier on in the game, I'm like, I gotta get fucking further in this game because it's a very Japanese game. It has things that unlock as you progress. So yeah, anything else you want to talk about when it comes to, well, anything. I don't give a fuck. You can talk about what the hell you want.
No, not really. I do want to reiterate that I do think you should. I would do Final Fantasy 15 first because it's shorter, but I think you should play that in Persona 5. So
yeah,
but I haven't beat Persona 5 yet. So.
Yeah, well, that one's gonna take a while for me. But I do want to play that. I haven't traded either in because
well, the good
for
news
that
is
reason.
Too with
trade
Persona
games
5
in anyway.
I don't feel like I'm lost when I turn it back on.
That's good.
Yeah, so long breaks don't seem to really affect it too much because the story is at least the overall story is in these nice bite-sized pieces where you don't get too lost. It's all the little subtle conversations you might lose, which are more for flavor, I guess. So
yeah, I want to play both though. I was thinking the other day though I should just start 15 and fucking just play it. So I might do that soon. I might stream that. I don't know.
Well,
I don't really
with
like
how
streaming
you,
story stuff.
Well, with how you shoot through Monster Hunter, and I know you're on vacation, but you still put over 100 hours into it within a week.
4 days.
You're gonna, if you even like devoted half that energy to 15, you'd be done in a week.
Yeah.
Maybe less. So.
Yeah. Have you seen that picture that's like popular right now? That's like somebody should make a game where it's like a meme of fucking Star Wars. It's like Anakin and Obi-Wan, but it's like somebody should make a game where you play cooperatively through the whole game. At the end, you have to fight each other. It's such a weird thing that's popping around because it's like people don't play video games who are reading that.
Yeah.
Because I think at the end of Double Dragon, you had to fight each other, but the big one that I thought of was fucking Splinter Cell Conviction in the co-op. You have to fight each other right at the end, and it's a huge surprise.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like I remember me and Daniel, fucking if you're watching this up, we played cooperatively through that whole fucking game one night and fucking got to the end, and all of a sudden it shows like a cutscene, and as soon as it started, I was like, oh shit, am I gonna have to kill him? But my person gets like down low with the thing, and they're like, all right, you need to take out the other fucking operative, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? And as soon as it started, it's funny too, because the whole time, like, he played fine, but like, I play this type of games more. So like, the whole time we played, I was like on my shit, and he was like supporting me. But like, at that part, I was like fucking jumping around, bouncing around shit, getting ready to murder him. And he was just sitting there behind a wall, like, And I was like getting ready to kill him. I fucking popped my head up and he just fired and hit me right in the head and just fucking killed me. And I was like,
You earned it.
yeah. You fucking killed me. I was way too like, I'm gonna fuck with him. And I got killed for it. It was a fucking clean shot too, headshot, boom. Just fucking, that's all that popped up. My head just popped over walls like, hello. He's like, bop. I was like, okay, well, I fucking deserve that. But yeah, that was a genuine surprise when we played that game, because you play through the whole game, you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then it happened. I was like, okay. Yeah. So just want to comment on that because I keep seeing it everywhere. I feel like it's an old meme. But
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter today, actually. So
yeah. Yeah, I've been seeing it like the last 2 days. I'm just like, you guys need to play more games, motherfuckers. Okay, so let's know in the comments what you guys have been playing. I never asked you guys. Anything you've been playing? What are you doing in the game? How much are you enjoying it? You played Kingdom Come Deliverance. What do you think about it? Everyone I know who's played it has really liked it. I had 2 people on my stream at one point, though, come in and go, this game fucking sucks. I traded it in. And I was like, okay, dude. To each their own.
it wasn't Skyrim.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, yeah, it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. Okay, so we have a video to watch. We're going to be watching Soul Calibur 5. Apparently, Ivy and Zasalamel have been revealed. I have not watched this yet, and Chevy has, I believe. So I will be reacting. Chevy will be hanging out and then talking about this with me. So let's get into it. I know we got a lot of Soul Calibur fans in the channel, which is great because it's my favorite fighting game.
One
Ever.
very vocal one.
Oh,
I can't remember their name, but
got a couple of them, but yeah. All right, let's do it.
seems to be the industry for fighting games.
Yeah, lately. Tekken's on it. Same guys, though. Coiling Contempt. So she's definitely looking like she always has. That was something we kind of discussed, if they'd be worried about like PC culture, but no.
So I'm a little behind on these games. I didn't play the last entry, but I don't remember that bow move.
Damn, what the fuck was that?
Or that move. Yeah.
Damn.
I remember that.
Yep. Man, getting these characters rolling out, like fucking starting to make it feel more and more and more like Soul Calibur. I'm getting excited.
I also remember this move.
Yep. That one I remember being really hard to
I
pull
don't
off.
remember this part.
Yeah. And the visualization's different too.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, 5 was fucking
I barely played it, so.
not bad, but not good. Zasalamel was good. I like Zasalamel. I'm actually really surprised to see Zasalamel in this.
I am too.
I like that outfit too. Yeah, because he came in later, and this is supposed to be a reboot, so it's interesting that he's coming in earlier.
I also don't know anything about this guy. So I remember seeing him, but I don't remember seeing his moves. So all these are kind of new to me.
He kind of has a mix of like slow and powerful moves, but quick attacks as well. Kind of reminds me of like Nightmare in the same kind of way he plays.
My abyss shall take you. I shall continue with
Damn.
my quest until I find
Apparently in
what I
control
seek.
time.
That's pretty fucking cool. That's an abrupt ending. Yeah, I can't fucking wait for this. I need to fucking stop. Yeah, looks awesome. I'm glad Ivy is still Ivy. Nothing's changed about her. Not that there's a reason to believe there would be, but you know, it was a concern worth talking about. Looks like she has all her same moves, some new ones. I really like the visualizations that they added to it. Yeah, looks like she flows really well. And Zasalamel, huge surprise to see him again, but very welcome because I actually liked him. I think he's a really good character, and I liked playing him. So pretty happy to see that. I'd like to see I said Valdo, and Astaroth soon though. Wondering where those guys are at.
Yeah, I don't know.
Astaroth has to be in the game.
I know when I watched the IV trailer in the comment section, there was a lot of people asking about Taki.
Taki,
Yeah.
yep, need Taki. Taki's one of the main characters, like
Yeah,
very important to the game.
and then also her zombie dad. So
Her zombie dad?
Cervantes.
No, that's Ivy's dad.
I was referring to Ivy. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I thought you were saying Taki. I'm like, they don't look alike. Maybe adoptive. Yeah, what'd you think?
That looks cool. Ivy's one of my characters, so I was really excited to actually see her in the game, and her move set looks to be the same, like you said, with some additions and some new animations thrown in there, which is cool. Specifically, and I don't know any of the names. I'm not like a hardcore fan. I just enjoy Soul Calibur. But the one where all the shards go flying off or whatever, I remember that move has been in the game for a while, but I don't remember her stomping on their face afterwards. Maybe it was in a prior game, but I don't remember that. So
Yeah, I don't remember it either. I just remember them being in there going bop, 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 and then fucking flying off. So,
but it's just neat. It kind of fits into the whole like I guess dominatrix is what I'm looking for theme she has. So
domineering, powerful women stomping on flying dudes.
on samurais.
Yeah. That's what they deserve.
Otherwise, the other guy looks cool, but I just don't have any connection with him because I never used him.
And you're behind because he's a couple games in.
I played a little bit of 4.
We got it fucking in the house right now.
For what?
360. Do we even have a 360 in this house?
We have an Xbox One. We have 2 Xbox Ones.
I know, but is that backwards compatible?
I'm pretty sure everything is at this point.
They got a lot of games on the list.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking dope if it is. I gotta check that out.
Just pop it in. If it downloads the driver, it is.
Cool. But yeah, what was your opinion on him? Sorry, you didn't play him obviously, but
So I don't really have. He looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about his moveset or how he plays or anything. So I am also kind of confused because I know he was added later and this is supposed to be a reboot. But
yeah,
I can't really say too much though because Mortal Kombat did a reboot and had a ton of characters in it. So and that worked out great. So
yeah, definitely. Any characters you'd like to see?
Talon
Yeah.
and
Talon would be cool.
Tira, but I doubt either of them will be in the game.
I think Tira should be in the game just because I think she should be in all the games because they built this roster up. But this whole reboot thing's kind of confusing, even though they brought Zasalamel back. But Taki, I would really be upset if they didn't bring her back. She's been around since
weird,
I think 2. Mm-hmm. So she's been kind of there for a while now. She's not even new. Tira's been around since 3. They've made 5 of the fucking games. So yeah, I'd like to see Raphael. Just because I really like him. I'm not gonna play him, but like I said, I need to see Astaroth in the game. First off, because I need Josh to have his guy to fight against my guy. Fucking that's a tale as fucking old as time. Goddamn, soul still burns bullshit. Voldo has to be in the game. He's a fucking staple.
Same with I would say Yoshimitsu and
Yoshimitsu will be in the game. It'd be fucking crazy if they didn't put that guy in there.
Maxi.
Maxi has to be in the game. I love Maxi, even though he's
Easy to play, but it has a mastering curve as well.
for sure. Anytime I tell people I like to play Maxi, they're like, "Oh, you like to play Maxi?" Like I'm like fucking a noob, but I'm definitely not a noob when it comes to Soul Calibur. I like the way he flows, but I have proven before. I told somebody a long time ago. I was playing against somebody and they were playing Maxi. I was like, Maxi, you can just fucking button mash and you can win. You got a pretty good chance. And they're like, no, dude, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not button mashing. And I was like, okay, fucking give your little brother the controller and pick Maxi. And he had it. And I'm like, okay, just hit the fucking buttons. Don't even look. Don't even look at the screen. Just fucking do this and hit the buttons. And he started doing that and he beat his ass. And I was like, he's never played him. He just fucking destroyed you.
Yeah.
So there is, that was an older version though. I think they kind of harnessed him or made him better because fucking later on once you understand his moves, you can of course you can do like those like light attacks, but there's some really heavy attacks that you can get in there if you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
so
you chain and then finish.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise you're just doing like a lot of hits and the fight goes out longer. But with him, you can really kind of like fucking hit him a couple times and fucking knock a chunk off their health. I'd also like to see one of my old time favorites. They call him like Han So-yo, but his name's spelled Huang or Huang, however you say that. He had the big ass like I think it's a Chinese broadsword, but fucking loved that guy. So I'd love to see him come back. But if they don't bring him back, there's a lot of games they haven't brought him back for, so I would not be surprised.
And I'm sure they're going to hold back for DLC as much as I hate that. But
yeah, they need to fucking be careful the way they do that, though, because I'll be very angry if they exploit that. Because all the other games prior to this have released the characters regardless of DLC. So doing that's a step backwards and will kind of tarnish the legacy of Soul Calibur.
it is the era we are in, though.
Yeah.
So
Well, I brought that question up on Reddit, and I had people fucking pissed at me that I even would assume that would happen. And other people were like, yeah, this is something I would not want to see happen. I'm like, yeah, me too. That's why we're discussing it. I like to talk about things. And people are like, why the fuck do you even think that's going to happen? There's no reason to believe that. I'm like, well, it's kind of a thing that's happening now in other games. I hate to see them do it. I'm not saying they are going to do it. They're like, well, there's no reason for you to believe that. I'm like, I don't believe it. I'm just saying, chill. It was fucking crazy. People, especially in art gaming, very aggressive, very angry people.
yeah, subreddit's garbage.
Yeah, it's crazy because fucking other subreddits for specific games really fucking cool. Monster Hunter fucking subreddit's great. The Soul Calibur subreddit's great. A bunch of those things are great. But gaming, anytime I go in there, it's a fucking cesspool of just negativity.
Unless you say Skyrim or Zelda.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and that's the biggest gaming subreddit. So I don't know. Fucking sorry if you hang out in our gaming.
I'm not.
Not talking shit to you, just saying your community is pretty negative, and that's something we don't really try to do around here. Yeah, let us know in the comments though. What do you think about Soul Calibur 6? What do you think about what do you think about the fucking game? What are you hoping to see more of? What do you think about Zasalamel coming back? And who else would you like to see come back from the later games? I actually kind of had that off the table. For some reason, I was like, they're not going to bring back newer characters.
Right.
But yeah, let us know. Overall thoughts. And Ivy, what do you think about Ivy coming back and her design and all that shit? Does it feel the same? Did you want something different? Let me know. Last thing we're going to talk about. Originally, we were going to talk about this with Chris, but he couldn't make the episode. So it's just going to be in Chevy. But GameSpot put out an article of 11 ways to improve Monster Hunter World. I read a little bit of this already, but there's a couple points that I thought were good and a couple points I thought were pretty bad, actually. So I thought it'd be interesting for us to go through the list of 11 things and talk about what we think about those. And obviously, let us know in the comments what you think about them as well. So we're just going to jump into it. The first thing they say is to include better tutorials. I could go through the whole thing, but they pretty much make a point of saying that there is 14 different weapons, and even though you can go into a training area to practice with them, they don't really give you good examples of how to use the weapons or even straight up a tutorial to understand how like powers work with those weapons. This is something that I do agree with. I do think the way they've done it in this version is the best they have done it. At least
sure.
they gave you anything, so it is an improvement. But I do agree with GameSpot on this a little bit. I think they could improve the tutorial, of course. It wouldn't take anything away from anybody who's played the game already, and it would only be adding to people who are perhaps confused and don't want to have people watching them play games fucking tell them how to play. They can do it on their own.
I agree with this the same way I agree with it in most games. I think most games have this struggle when it comes to tutorials. They make it drag on for too long, or they don't give you enough, or they don't make it entertaining enough, it's really not an easy thing for them to do. So I'm not like trying to like say anything bad about these companies when they're making their tutorials or doing it the way they think is best, but I think it's always safe to say is probably usually a better way to do a tutorial in some way or another. And I think in this case, the game does have some deeper systems when it comes to combat, and it does not address that at all. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing there is some of the weapons are pretty advanced. And of course, anybody who's played the game is going to go, well, I know how to do it, sure. But like anybody who's playing it now, coming into it, they are more advanced than some of the other weapons. There is a big learning curve compared to like the daggers over to like the charge blade. It's a huge difference.
Well, it's funny because I've spoken to a few people now. This is their first Monster Hunter, so
yeah.
We were kind of expecting that with it coming to console because it hasn't been on console for 3 was technically on console, but you know what I mean, as a flagship system. This is the second time, I think, so since PlayStation 2.
It's a rare thing, and we haven't gotten like a standalone not ported version in a long time. So and yeah, I haven't talked to them, but you told me you've talked to people who actually did find some things confusing in the game as first time players.
So we have a coworker, I'm not gonna mention them by name, but they when they first started playing the game, and I asked them about it, how they liked it, they said, "Oh, I don't know," And I was like, "Well, what's up?" And they're just like, "I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I can't figure out the co-op, blah, blah, all this stuff." And so I kind of broke it down for them a little bit. I was like, to give you just kind of the best advice I can, this is one of those games you just kind of have to like play through and learn as you go. Maybe watch a couple YouTube videos. But there's a depth there, and you'll be hooked, I promise. Yeah. And the next time I talked to him, he was like, "Oh man, I was doing this, and this."
Oh,
and
really?
Now I talked to him, and he's in high rank now, and
wow.
And so and he's digging it. So he came up to me the other day. He's like, "What's up, fellow hunter?" And so I was just like, okay. So obviously
he's
it finally
into it.
clicked.
Yeah,
so,
no, it's cool. I only heard the first part of the story. I didn't hear that he actually got into it. It sounded like the last time he told me about it, he was kind of like, I don't know, man. I'm only playing this to play with one of my friends. So I'm glad to hear that, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's important to have good introduction systems set up for new players.
They almost lost him.
Yeah, because you want this game to succeed, we need more people to play it. So, and bigger communities better as long as everyone's fucking cool. So we both agree on that. Yeah. The next one is improve organization of investigation system. I'll read this. Monster Hunter World's menus have a lot going on. Some of these text-heavy menus make sense, and they allow for complex systems like armor and weapon crafting to grow and evolve over the course of the game. The investigation menu, however, is in dire need of some help. Investigations are extra quests that allow you to hunt down monsters for increased rewards while under some kind of restraint, like a shorter time limit. But the way you earn and manage those quests is a confusing morass that makes the structure feel like more trouble than it's worth. At the very least, you should be able to sort or search through your list of available investigations by monster type. After that, the game should offer a way to bulk delete quests. Pretty much get the point of this. I agree to a certain extent. I think the investigation system's fine. I haven't had a problem with it, especially because you get random new ones. You can kind of look through it. It would be nice if there's a way to organize it. I agree with that for sure, because I'm an organization freak, and I would like to at least sort by like difficulty rating or monster type. But I don't necessarily think they need to do it. But if they did, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, I agree with.
And I don't think it. And sorry, they also make it sound like investigations don't really make sense. Like they're just kind of there or whatever. And it's like investigations are great because you're not just going out to the field fucking killing the thing. There's an incentive if you have the investigation for it to get more rewards for doing it. It is kind of a weird system, but like
Sure, but I view this as random side quests, right?
yeah, for sure.
They're talking about that you should be able to know how to get the investigations. Well, it's simple. You kill the monster, you track the monster. You know, there's do as much as you can involved in the pursuit of that monster, and you'll usually get a couple investigations. So I don't agree with that. I like that it's kind of like this random system.
So do I. I like also the cooperation aspect of like you don't have the investigation, but I might.
Or you might have a 2-player version and I have 4-player version. There's 3 of us playing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it adds variables to
does.
the game.
And I hope they actually expand that system to add some interesting challenges.
Yeah.
The parts I do agree with, I do think there should be a better sorting system, and I think a mass delete would be really good as well.
Agreed.
I went through 200 of them the other day and only kept like 40, so that was a lot of deleting. So
Yeah.
I really wish I would have been able to just go select them and then. But other than that, I think the system's fine. Those
Yeah.
are nitpicks, I think.
Yeah, I'm on the exact same page. Let us know in the comments what you think. Okay, so the third one is make the hub online, not just the Hunters Gathering. It says taking full advantage of the ability to play online can be a ton of fun when your session is filled with players to hang out with. It's therefore a shame that you can only see other players in the Hunters Gathering rather than all Astera. It somewhat unnecessarily separates the multiplayer and single player, and even though your session may be full, you won't really know unless you and those other players are hanging out in the gathering. Pretty much get the point of this. I agree. I think there needs to be something done to incentivize people either being in the gathering or open it up, because it does feel like it's separating the game the way they designed it. Even if you start a session or whatever, it seems like you're still in your main area and you have to go run to the hub, which there's not really any benefit of going up there except for to hang out. It'd be better if you guys were already just fucking hanging out.
Yeah.
Or at least give you access to everything downstairs in the hub area in some way. I've made jokes before about how you could do that, so that you can just stay up there. But yeah, going back and forth, it makes almost no sense to stay up there.
Right.
So this is something I 100% agree with. I think that there is some really easy fixes and some bigger ways to fix it that would be more interesting. Like to open up the whole thing for everybody would be great, but I think, and I want them to do that, but I would really just prefer, if it's easier for them, to just incentivize the gathering area.
Yeah, I think because it loads in differently, it probably would be easier for them to just incentivize using that at this point. But I agree that it should all be open, and I feel like they took that approach the way they did is because that's the way it's been.
Yeah.
So they didn't really think to change it because it's just it wasn't broke, don't fix it type
Yeah.
thing. Well, they were also using handheld versus console, and the multiplayer worked a little differently. So. Maybe in a future update, I'd like to see them change that. I'm also not really like that upset over it though either. I don't need to go up there. I don't need them to be around.
It's just a questionable feature and missed opportunity. It's not something I need.
I think
it's
missed
just
opportunity is perfect.
I just think the biggest thing of like whenever someone brings up the hub and how they don't go there, I'm just like, yeah.
Yep.
And that's about as far as it goes. I'm like, God damn it, I fucking hate that. I'm just like, yeah, it's weird. Like that. I mean, I remember in prior Monster Hunters always being in the hub together with people, like, and people like arm wrestling and shit.
That's how you had to play multiplayer though.
Yeah, exactly. And now like it's just kind of weird that I can be on my own doing my thing. You're on your own doing your thing, and then we just queue up and go, which is convenient and great. You can just get in and play. But there's none of that social aspect that I remember in other Monster Hunter games.
Not unless you try to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to go out of your way to do it, but like it doesn't force you there, and it's not incentivizing you to go hang out. I also think that there should be some kind of like login thing for when everyone goes to the hub and hangs out. Maybe it levels up your fucking clan, even if it's just a number. I think it would be still a good incentive. Or being able to decorate the place would be fucking awesome. Upgrade it, because the rest of the game starts upgrading as you go too. It'd be kind of cool to like work together and start placing like tables and chairs and fucking decorations and shit up as you play together. I mean, that would incentivize people to come hang out because they'd want to see what's new and changing and different. But yeah, I pretty much agree. I just, like you said, I'm not like, this needs to be done. I'm just like, it'd be nice if they did it, because I think it is a missed opportunity. Next one is add more flexible online features. Monster Hunter World's online systems make sense on paper. To play with your friends, you need to join the same online session. You can matchmake into random sessions or join your friends via invitations. But the system's many wrinkles make it difficult and counterintuitive to use, especially for newcomers to the series who might expect that they can simply hop into a friend's hunts with little forethought. Limitations like not being able to join others' assigned story missions until they've seen all the cutscenes, or being denied loot if you join too late, add further confusion. Problems arise, for example, if you want to help a friend with a story mission, but they take too long to find the monster, so by the time you join them, the quest's rewards are no longer available. Joining and posting quests via the job board style menu could be made easier as well. One possible solution could be to allow you to simply join and invite your friends from a separate menu, independent of sessions, postings, or SOS flares, with a little more flexibility. They could even do away with some of the penalties that might otherwise be present, such as letting you collect rewards no matter how late you join a friend's mission. It would also be nice if the game were more clear about why you can't invite or join someone when it decides you can't, if you're not actually in an online session, for example, or if you're simply too early in a story mission. Little feedback could go a long way. Yeah, I agree with this. I also think they should have mentioned the what's that called? Free roam expedition. Yeah, that should be streamlined in a sense that you can just do that like a mission. I do think it's really weird that you can't play the game unless you've seen the storylines or the cutscenes. You can't go into the mission until that's done. It's a big like derailment to flow of the game, because you can play them together anyway. You just can't sit there and watch the storyline together. Although there's parts in the games where you do watch cutscenes together in certain missions, like Zora Magdaros. So those are things I definitely think should be fixed. I feel like that'd be a pretty easy fix too.
So what was the entire list of that last one? Oh no, okay, I remember the online session thing. So
yeah,
I do agree with the seeing the cutscene thing before it allows you to join. I think that is a really silly decision.
Yeah, it's weird.
It really kind of interrupts the flow of the game. And the I'm losing my train of thought here. Let's go back real fast. So the one thing I don't agree with is the rewards thing. And the reason I don't agree with this,
I don't either,
is because I could do all the work while the monster has what is like 80% of its health, and right before the final blow, I could let you join, and you get to reap the rewards. That's
or some random jackass who just joins. You had an SOS up or whatever, and like people join, they're helping or whatever, and then at the last minute, like a fourth guy pops in, and or you have like an open session or whatever, and fucking somebody jumps in like as you're about to finish it.
It just opens up getting a free ride. And I think it's a bad system.
And there's already people who will join your room anyway and not participate. So we don't need other reasons to have people allow everyone to carry them.
For sure. I think 10 minutes is pretty gracious anyways. Especially if you are playing with your friends.
Yeah.
If you're playing with a random stranger, like I respond to SOSs a lot lately because when I'm farming, I can look up people who are doing them on investigations, and if they have the one I want, I can hop in and do it with them. And I make sure to set my search settings to reward available, because that's what I'm there for.
I haven't responded to an SOS apparently because I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, well, it just turned out to be a really easy way to play multiplayer when you guys aren't on. So, plus then I don't have to set it up. And you can search for things. Like if you wanted to do, instead of waiting for Zora or Xeno to show up, you can literally just search for people who are on those missions and join them.
Yeah, which makes sense because I've put out SOSs anytime I did like sort of Magdaros, like for the 5th or 6th time. I was like, I don't want to do this fucking
Well, it gives
on my
people
own.
the opportunity to do that because they may need the gem or
Yeah.
a horn or whatever.
Which yeah, on a mission like that I know I'm gonna fucking beat anyway. I don't mind if people come in and help because like especially on the part where you gotta like break the 3 fucking nodes or whatever. It's easier with like 4 people because then everybody's just kind of hitting all of them at once. So.
Right. The other part here, the simplicity of joining, I think a simple solution would be to add a 4th menu option in the beginning, just like where you can start an online session, offline session, or join your clan's room, people on my friends list room.
Yeah.
And if no one's on, you're the host all of a sudden. And anyone else who decides to join on, they select that option, they end up in your lobby. That would fix that problem, I think. I don't think it's that big of a deal, though I do understand it's not as streamlined as a lot of Western games. So,
Yeah. That is something, though, I'd like to see them fix. Okay, next one is better load times. That one's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go into this. So, it does seem like it has a slow load time when you first get into the game, and kind of going back and forth between fights is slightly slow, but it's not that bad. This is not something that I've noticed it, but not in a way of like it was in. It doesn't bother me.
it doesn't bother me either. I will like start to notice it, but it's like right before it's done. So I think it's just barely not too long for me.
Yeah.
Now, saying that, I think everybody out there would agree that every game should have as fast load time as possible because we all just want to get in there and play it.
Yeah.
It's a little unrealistic though. So load times don't bother me too much. If they improve them, awesome.
Yeah,
But
no, that's exactly. If they stay the same, this is how the game is. It hasn't been bad enough for it to bother me yet, and I don't think it will. I'm fucking on my way to 200 hours into the game, so it's like I'm pretty used to it, and I don't think they're that bad. They are slow, but they're not like horribly slow. But yeah, if they fix them, fucking yeah, hell yeah, that'd be great. Like
yeah.
that's just a quality of life improvement for me on that point. Next one is improve the item upgrade menu. There's quite a bit here, so hopefully I can get the gist pretty quickly. With no traditional experience bar to speak of, gear is the name of the game in Monster Hunter World. The process of building, upgrading, comparing items should be as pain-free as possible, and yet it's a challenge. The inherent complexity in the upgrade tree shouldn't necessarily be eliminated, but it is often frustrating that seemingly simple tasks aren't as easy as they could be. At the simplest level, previewing an item from the upgrade tree is a less than smooth process if you're exploring the entire tree. Seeing what item looks like requires tabbing over to stop the menu from blocking your view of your character, while moving back to the tree causes you to lose the spot you were at. A button to provide a clearer look at your character. I agree with that part. Crafting upgrades is also not the simple process that it could be. Comparing two possible upgrades, which is not terribly uncommon given how the upgrade tree branches at certain points, requires jumping back and forth between the two items, and keeping track of costs becomes a manual process. You can't easily see the combined money and material cost if you want to craft several consecutive upgrades. The complexity of item upgrades can be great. Each time the tree expands, it comes with pleasantly overwhelming world of possibilities. It would just be nice if the actual upgrade process were a little less of a hassle.
simple solution for you, Chris. Use the wish list.
I don't use it.
Is super handy. So it literally will tell you every material you need, which ones you have, how many more you need of each, and every time you pick one up, a little thing pops up on the side of your screen saying, hey, you got one of the materials you were looking for.
Really?
Yeah, so nice. So I just don't. Yes, it is out of the way, and it's not as streamlined as obviously you want it to be, but there is a system there to keep track of your materials.
This is another, like, this one doesn't bother me that much.
Doesn't bother me at all.
If they were to improve it in some way, sure. Like, you know, cleaning up the menu system is great. Most of that, though, was just kind of white noise to me. Like, I have not had one. I've not at one point in the game so far been fucking around with upgrading stuff and been upset. I do agree 100% that there should be an easy way to preview your weapon or your armor. I don't need it, but I would like it. And I don't think there's a really good argument against why you can't do it. Like if someone's like, I don't think you need that at all. Well, I think most people would agree that it'd be cool to be able to see what you're building or what it looks like in your guy without, fucking looking around your menu.
I mean, look at every MMO. Every MMO, if it doesn't have it, shortly afterwards implements a cosmetic window that pops up.
Yeah.
A dressing room. There we go.
But I actually think that this upgrade system is an improvement on prior ones. I like the way they did it. I think it's pretty fucking simple and straightforward. And yeah, I haven't had an issue with it at all. So if they found ways to make it better, cool.
Sure.
If it stays the same, I'm not even going to think about it.
Yeah. And like I said, use the wish list. It'll make your life a lot easier.
I'm gonna have to look into that because I never tried it. There's a lot of things I just kind of I beeline through that fucking game, and every once in a while someone's like, "Hey, you didn't do this." I'm like, "Fuck." So, why does it do that?
Where are you going?
I don't know. It's fucking scrolling down. But yeah, there's one on this list too, and we're gonna get to it. But it's like one of the only ones that I'm like, "Fuck no." Don't do that, but we'll get there. And the next one, provide easy access to Safari management.
Oh, welcome back, Chris.
Huh? Oh, I think he might have wrote most of these. I don't know.
There was a different name on one earlier, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, when we're saying Chris, the guy who wrote a lot of these is Chris Pereira. So that's what he means by Chris. Anyway, provide easy access to Safari management. The option to stay out in the field following a quest is a welcome feature, but a trip back to Astera is necessary from time to time. To complete the required lap, visit the ecological research area, complete and acquire new bounties, see what the Argosy has for sale, and check on your Safari. It's the last bit that I've come to find tiresome, as it takes you out of the main hub area. I haven't noticed it, really. The only way to manage a Safari is to head back to the research base or your room. The latter is accessible straight from Astera, but since it's a separate zone, this makes managing a Safari more cumbersome. While you might not need to do this more than once every 5 quests, unless you want to end a Safari early, it's still an unnecessary step that feels... Okay. When you go from the bottom floor of Astera or whatever to the top floor, it's a loading screen. I use that, or you can run up the stairs. I prefer the loading screen. It doesn't take that long. It's
faster.
It literally goes dark, and then you're back. Walking in your house does the exact same thing.
It's a little longer load, but yes, still.
Fucking barely.
It's barely.
So like going in there, I don't know. There's like this zen-like quality after a hunt to just fucking kind of debrief and fucking get your shit together. And that's kind of part of it for me, is like going back and checking that. And like this dude said, if you're doing it like to completion, it's like every 5 fucking quests, which in Monster Hunter can be like an hour worth of shit or longer.
It could be almost 5 hours.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, I put that badly because a lot of fights for me are lasting about 10 to 15 minutes.
It shouldn't last you almost 5 hours, but it can.
But it could. So if you're doing that often, like not that often, fucking, I don't see an issue. It would be nice if there's somebody in town you could talk to, but like, I don't know. That would just be separating more of the game away, and you would have no reason to go back into your house and shit other than to look at some stuff.
See, we're getting a lot of these seem to be like they want to be put in a box with no obstructions to their objectives. In fact, they want one NPC that literally just handles everything for you.
They want the game to be completely streamlined. They want it to be a menu system, and then you go to the hunt, and you come back, and you have your menu, and you're like, okay.
Where's the charm?
But that's the thing, is like typically I'm always for streamlining. I think streamlining is a really good thing as long as it's done well. Don't oversimplify because you're going to alienate the people who liked the game before. But streamlining is a good thing because as you work on things, you bring out new iterations and more iterations and more iterations, you start learning lessons, and you start making things better as you go on. And then that always typically benefits, unless, like I said, they change the game or oversimplify it. there's so much to Monster Hunter that's not just fighting monsters that has added to the reason why people fucking love Monster Hunter. There's a world and atmosphere and charm to the game. I mean, like without any of these small menial tasks, you're not going to see all the palicas around town fucking doing all these ridiculous things that adds to what this world's like, or like just seeing the town in action, everything working, stuff like that, or going into your house and seeing, like, being reminded of you progressing to the third point of having that third house and it's all fancy and shit. And yeah, without those things, it's just it almost would feel like an indie developed game where you just go fight something, come back, level up, fucking go fight something. Like, you need those little downtimes, and the game's already streamlined to the point where you don't have to come back. So I mean, like, that
Safari's completely optional.
Yeah, exactly.
Go hunt them yourself if you don't want to go do the safari.
That's a fair point.
So, I don't know.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's such an extra thing. I'm just like, fucking. It doesn't even bother me to go check on it because I'm not fucking earning it myself.
Coming from like Phantasy Star Online, Phantasy Star Universe, stuff like that, where half of the charm was like the social aspects. And,
dude,
and in Phantasy Star
I
Universe,
lived in those games.
Having your own room that you had to load into.
It was awesome.
You know, those are things that it adds a flavor to the game. And I think in the case of and I understand they want this one thing that is in this one area to be as accessible as everything else. Well, I mean, it's the same with if you're in the multiplayer thing in the top on the fourth floor, you don't have access to everything up there either. So it's just, and obviously, like, you can argue against me that it's not, well, this is what I'm arguing, it's not streamlined enough, but that's just the way it's built, because they built this stuff, they want you to go check it out. If you're that impatient, maybe it's not the right game for you. So
yeah, although I get where you're coming from. I kind of hate that mentality though, because I saw something recently. I don't remember. It was like on a forum post on IGN or something like that. But somebody was like asking questions on tips for fighting Kieran, and the first fucking response on there was some dude going like, "Monster Hunter is a game about stalking your prey, learning their moves, finding the best equipment to fight them, and blah, blah, blah. If you're too lazy to do that and you have to ask people for tips, maybe this game's not for you." And I was like, that's so fucking elitist.
That's elitist, exactly.
I'm
not
dorky.
trying to be elitist, but
Yeah.
I am.
But if they want to diminish and kill the fucking charm of the game that people love the game for, I get the sense
Sure.
that maybe they don't belong here if they don't like.
And obviously, I doubt this one thing is enough for someone to not want to play the game.
Yeah.
This is a nitpick, and I'm going further than I probably need to on
Yeah.
it. I'm just saying in general that at some point, like, you gotta just like not care about the little inconveniences.
Well, how bad is that bothering him? I feel like he just
it
like
probably isn't. It's probably for the sake of an article.
I will say he's probably sitting there like, what else sucks?
But
I don't like
there are
loading into
people
my
like
room.
That though,
Yeah.
and so I'm more
there's a
so
lot.
I'm not so much talking to him on this. I'm talking to people who like where that would bother them so much that is a legitimate complaint.
Yeah.
In which case, I don't sympathize with that mentality at all.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
But if it is an inconvenience, yeah, it's a little inconvenient, sure. And I get where you're coming from with that. But I also, it doesn't bother me at all. Like the going to my room thing.
I would love there's a whole other separate fucking section to load into, and like when you go out there, it looks like a fucking, not like a train station or something, but like when you go out there, the safari's not back yet, but when you come back, they'll actually like be pulling in and shit. Like fucking, I don't care. Load me wherever the hell, as long as like it just adds to the world. Add more sections to fucking upstairs. There's a whole fucking area. It looks like you could go somewhere else. So I mean, like,
I would love for them to add on later.
Me too.
Even
like,
just an entire new hub would be cool.
Yeah, if you could like go somewhere else with more people, like that'd be awesome. So like, this is nitpicky, and I don't necessarily think they're wrong, but I do think it's a very minute, small thing that really should not even have made it on the list.
I don't think they're wrong either, because obviously it's an opinion. So
well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's wrong, and sure, yeah, you could just have like a dude in the middle who's like, Safari's back, and you're like, cool, I don't have to walk over there. You could do that, and it would make my life easier. That's fine, but I don't care.
And I think and we've already said it at this point, but
Yeah.
it comes down to the charm. I mean,
Yeah.
bringing up like Final Fantasy 11 versus 14, for example, I love 14. It's a very streamlined game, blah, 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 but I have better memories from 11 because I actually had to walk around and load throughout the world and stuff like I was actually part of it versus just being in town queuing up for every little thing without having to move. I would hate to see that all the stuff they've made become useless like it is in a lot of modern games. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Let's know. What do you think about that? This is the one I really don't agree with. Show monster health bars. I'll read a little bit of this because they try and make a case. I don't think it's a very good one, though. This one seems simple. Large monsters should get health bars. You might disagree, and that's fair, but there's an argument to be made here. Yes, monsters often give some indication when they're injured, whether it's some ruffled feathers or a telltale limp and skull icon that let you know, which skull icon's a dead giveaway, that let you know that they're almost dead. But the pulse monitor located next to your minimap can be helpful too. But for less experienced players, those signs can be hard to pick up on, making the game frustrating early on, which is exactly when it should be its most welcoming. Now, we actually argued that it should be easier to welcome people into the game, and I think there's a lot of ways to do that, especially, like I said before, with the tutorial. It would get people more equipped and ready to fight things. My biggest thing here, though, is the game's called Monster Hunter, not Monster Fighter. Hunt involves... And kind of like what the guy in the forum was saying, without being elitist, I'm not telling anybody fucking don't play this game because you want to talk about it with people. But the game's charm has always been you're like a caveman type dude, and you're tracking the monster down, you're finding it, you're figuring out how to fight it, and then when you do fight it, you are watching for indicators on its health degradation, and there is an excitement when you get to the point where they are limping. You're like, oh shit, there it goes, it's limping. And you start chasing after it. There's this whole process to the hunt of it. And then you can capture, kill it. I think it'd be a huge fucking just jab in the wrong direction to just put a fucking health bar above the dude. Mm-hmm. Because at that point, fucking make it into goddamn Bayonetta or something. Let me just button mash and fucking go while fucking dodging around while it jumps around and then it dies. Like, that completely takes away from the whole experience. It's not, I'm not going to be fucking stalking my prey and hunting something. If I just see a health bar, I'm like, okay, let's fucking kill it, guys. And just start hitting it. I think it takes away way more than it really should. But in this game, I think it's a huge fucking part of the gameplay.
The amount of
charm.
time they put into
the animations,
the tells.
Yeah, and the visuals and stuff.
I would say, by the time you're done fighting, it looks like you've had this long fight with the monster. You're going to stop paying attention to that the moment there's a 100% to 0%.
I'm not going to be looking at the monster.
Yeah, you're going to be looking at a number.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I completely agree. I think
it takes away from the fucking personality of the guys.
I think this is straight up just a garbage recommendation.
Yeah, this is bad. Don't agree with that at all.
Like you said, like you're fighting, you get the your tells, and that's part of the game. Like you hit the monster a bunch, and all of a sudden they go from being like normal to enraged to sometimes super enraged, and then all of a sudden like they stop and they're just kind of like, and you're like, holy shit, it's getting tired, you know, or whatever, and then it'll get hungry or whatever, and then it'll try to run off and eat, and you can potentially stop it, or you can literally watch it go somewhere, get a meal real quick, and then all of a sudden it's energized and ready to fight again or whatever.
The fights are so like fleshed out in the way that they're designed that like in a good fight, not one you're just kind of doing to get something, you go from like the beginning being really hectic to like fucking enough fighting, like you start getting kind of worn out, start looking at your supplies like, maybe I should go back to camp and grab some more shit, or maybe we can do this, and then you're like, this is going on for fucking ever. And then you get that moment where like it's like tired or whatever for a split second, or it might start limping, and it's like this morale boost or whatever, and that would be completely eliminated.
It wasn't so much a morale boost for us, but like when we were fighting Clifford, can't remember the monster's names, man, drives me crazy. And we're just in there fighting or whatever, and he just jumps around like crazy all the time. And all of a sudden he got off balance right when I swung, and he went flying across the map or whatever. that is one of those tells. Like he was getting tired.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, every once in a while, he'll just stop too. And he's like, and like with him, he's jumping around all over the fucking place. When you see that, you're
And
like,
he
oh
gets
shit,
labored,
we're getting somewhere.
Also, the stuff like,
The tails
game
flying
doesn't
off.
tell you like, oh, you're poison procced.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden they're drooling purple.
Yep.
Stuff you have to pay attention
And that's
to.
stuff that you communicate
Yeah.
with each other. It's not just like he's fucking glowing purple now, or like there's an indicator on him, like, oh, he's poisoned. You poisoned him.
Well, yeah, I've been behind monsters before where I'm like just hitting their tail, like trying to chop it off, and all of a sudden Chris is like, will be like, "Oh, nice, he's poisoned." Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I do now.
It's all incentivizing communication with your group. If it was all simple systems based, you'd pretty much just be playing a fucking MMO or an action game. It completely takes
and they
away
already
from
exist.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like targeting the tail and chopping that fucker off or whatever, or breaking
the
horns.
face, the mane,
it's
the
all
back, the
part of the
claws,
experience of the
yeah.
fight. I mean, it's literally just kind of replicating that whole like bunch of cavemen trying to take out like a woolly mammoth and working together in different ways to try and wear it down, chase it down, and fucking finally take it out.
Or like realizing you don't have the right weapon for something.
Yeah.
Like when I use my longsword and I hit a horn, it's just like, well,
Yep.
that's not a good idea for me. Like,
As for new players or whatever, I think this is a hurdle you got to get over. Because you're going to learn, just like in Dark Souls. You're going to start playing Dark Souls, you're going to fucking die. You're going to die, and you're going to die, and then eventually you're going to beat that fucking boss. Then you're going to go, I remember when that was difficult. I fucking finally beat him. This is awesome. Same thing with this game. It has a very similar system to it, that if you're a new player, like I said, get those tutorials in there a little deeper so that they can completely and fully understand their weapons. But then if they completely and fully understand the game, but they're fighting a monster that beats them, they don't have an excuse other than to get better. Like that's all they got to do, and they're going to do that. And once they do, that's kind of part of the community too. Is like everybody's like, oh, whatever does this. Mm-hmm. Oh, they always do that. Oh, they have poison in their tail, all that shit. Now they get to become part of that community.
Yep.
It's not just like, yeah, I got down to like 50 health, and then finally we used this and it killed it. Like that's not interesting. I don't know. I might be overlooking it, but I feel like that's a huge fucking step in the wrong direction if they did out a health bar.
that is, yeah. There's games for that already. I feel like
That's boring for this.
and is yeah. It would totally devalue, I think, the essentially the charm of the game. In fact, a huge reason you're playing the game is because the monsters are supposed to be spectacles.
Yep.
So
Yeah, they're events. It's not quite the same. It's like Shadow of the Colossus. You're always against a boss. This game's not really like, oh, you got to fight all the little guys, then get to the big guy. No, the little guys are part of the fucking environment, and you go fight the boss, and it's awesome.
they're usually just hanging out in a tree waiting for their chance to hit the big guy too, though. So
Yep. So yeah, we definitely don't agree on that. Let us know what you think of that. Okay, so fix monster health pool scaling. This is a big one and should be relatively easy fix. Currently, Monster Hunter World has 2 difficulty settings, single player and multiplayer. Monsters have a certain amount of health if you're hunting solo and a much larger health pool if you're in a pack. The problem is said health pool doesn't scale depending on the number of players on your team. This means that Monster Hunter World's ferocious giant monsters have the same amount of health when you're rolling with 2 players as they do when you have a full squad of 4. Anyone who's played with just a single partner knows how insanely hard it can be to take down monsters since each player needs to do the work of 2. This unfortunately serves to actually discourage you from the playing with your friends unless you can get more than 2 people together. We're assuming that this is likely. Okay, so this is something that I think they could slightly tweak, but I don't think they need to make a big change. First off, I play by myself quite a bit. Not because I don't like playing with other people. I play with other people too, but I do kind of like doing a lot of the fights on my own, specifically with the bug glaive. There's certain things I can take advantage of more when I'm on my own and it's not aggroing other people. With 2 people, they're overlooking that you have palicos that are doing stuff.
that was literally the whole thing I was thinking here is, with 2 people you have palicos, which are utility, which expand the ability of your character. My palico,
they're buffing you,
is literally tooled to handle things I wanted to handle for me. And then with 4 people, you got 4 targets that things got to go after anyway.
Even if the thing has more health, there's more coverage.
Yeah, 3 players the hardest, right?
Agreed.
Because you're technically then playing 3 players. So you're either playing, in my opinion, 1, 4, 3, or 4. And that's just how it is. Because the monster targets your palicos. So it's the same defense in that regard. Plus, your palicos survive better than people. So
Yeah, a lot of the times, for sure. I sometimes, depending on what groups I've been in, think it's better to have one other person and 2 palicos.
for sure.
3 people, though, I think is the most disadvantaged. 4 definitely makes the fight harder, but that really comes down to who you're playing with, though. Because if you're playing with 4 people who are really fucking good, it's easy mode.
So fast. It's
if
crazy.
you play with like some people who suck, though, it could be fucking awful.
I did that Xeno fight I did earlier today where I got the 2 horns and the gem. Everyone was on their shit.
Yeah,
That
and when
fight
that happens,
was
it's
so
fucking
fast.
awesome.
Yeah.
But then you get into those rooms with fucking some dude who's just not pulling the weight, and
My
the scale
third
went up.
Gigante of the day where the same guy died 3 times. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that's, but like I said, I think they could probably tweak a couple things, especially with 3-player. They should scale it per case and not just multiplayer. But like I said, minutely, I don't think it's a huge issue. I haven't ran into a whole lot of issue. It mostly comes down to who you're playing with, in my opinion. I do think it's easier to play by yourself if you have the right. Certain weapons, it depends on the weapon. I think certain weapons do not benefit you to play on your own. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal.
I don't know. I like playing the game.
I think this guy's having a problem with the game, and he's blaming that.
I like playing it with people, and
Yeah.
and even though it can be harder, I think that also adds to the fun of the game because I feel more accomplished when
Well, the game
fight's
absolutely
over.
is more fun playing with people.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm playing alone, I'm just kind of like getting shit knocked out, whatever I'm after. It's just, it depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in there and get this shit done.
Right.
I play by myself because, when you go back to the hub, everybody's kind of doing their thing. It kind of takes time. And if I just want to get in there and fucking spam one dude over and over and over again, it's way better if I just do it on my own.
Sure, and obviously the game allows that for that.
Yeah.
But obviously, everyone plays the game, differently. And for me, if I don't have the availability to play with people, I have single player games I'll go play.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason I bought. The whole reason I've even gotten into Monster.
You don't want to hit level 300 before everybody else?
No, I'm enjoying my time in the game, and hopefully not going to burn myself out. And I would like, hopefully, for that feeling to continue, and they can start releasing content
Devil Joe.
and keep me in the game. Because I would love to treat it like an MMO. To be honest, I absolutely it's a fun game to play at its core. It is just fun.
Even without the systems, yeah,
Doing
it's
the
a
same
great
fight over and over again can be a different experience every time.
Yeah.
I've literally gone into a fight where I have the easiest time ever, and then all of a sudden the thing hits me. I go to stand up, it hits me again. All of a sudden, days I'm like, fuck, I'm dead. And that's it happens. So.
Yeah, that's why taking the week break from the game has been actually kind of nice because it's not out of lack of wanting to play the game, but to not overdo it because I really fucking went deep on that first week, and after that, I got around 50. I was like, I can take a break, and once I come back, fucking everybody will be also at that point. We can start playing again together because I kind of went fucking ahead pretty quickly. Yeah, and release Pickle Bob and the rest of them because it is a game that I would like to keep playing. So if they keep supporting it, I'm going to be there because, like you said, the game's fun to play. So as long as there's new content, I'm not at the point where I need new content, but once they add more content, fucking, it'll keep me engaged. Anything else you want to say on that?
No. Being a little long-winded right now. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So next topic. Or not topic. Next, what is this? Fucking Taste Tuesday. Next thing is add a notification center. You have countless things to keep track of. While I get the point of this.
Wait, you're.
Huh?
What do you mean? The game does notify you. You have a quest log that says completed or not completed. I don't understand this. And then this part where he says, brief messages that pop up let you know that your safari's returned. If you hold PlayStation 4, sorry.
It says when you come back to town.
Yeah, but he's saying then it goes away and it's permanently gone. It's not permanently gone. Open your chat log. It's still there. hold down the touchpad, your chat log opens up.
What if you didn't pay attention and you're fucking like, oh God, like I don't know if they're back or not. Go fucking check. But I know he hates the fucking going in his room, so.
This is so crazy to me.
Yeah. I think he wants it to be like Civ, where it's constantly letting, because Civ is a game that needs something like that. There's so much shit going on across the map that it's like, hey, you could be doing this right now. This is available. This person wants to talk to you. You could be going over here. You have fucking barbarians fucking on this border. And like, you're like, okay, I need to know all this shit. I think he wants that. I think he wants everything to be
he's gotta, because like, you know, the first point here, when your safaris return and then it disappears within seconds, you can open your chat log. It's there. When Zora Magdaros or Xeno shows up, and you know you only have the 2 turns essentially to do that. The moment you open the bulletin, or you go to the bulletin board, there's gonna be a little fucking 2 on the screen. Like the notifications are there. And then the notes at the beginning of the game for the daily login bonus screen. I mean, how many times do you need to read that?
I'm telling you, this guy just wants a fucking menu with the notifications.
Fucking lazy.
And then you click fight, go fight, and you go, and it instantly loads you into the game, and there's the boss, and you fucking.
And then once you come back,
and then once you fight him, you're back at the menu.
And the notifications there again.
It's like, you beat him. You got these things. You can do this. You should do this next.
This is a non-point.
Yeah, this is dumb. Okay. That was easy. More monsters to fight. Okay, well, we agree on that.
The game just came out.
That's a really... This article's kind of ridiculous. They say a bunch of shit, but I mean, they want more things to fight. They are going to add more things to fight. The game has not been out that long. And will it improve the game? Yeah, it will improve the game. But this is already in the works. I mean, this is like saying they should make this movie and it's already being made. It's not a good point. Anything you want to add to that?
No.
More monsters. Yeah, we all agree. We all agree.
Look at that first comment. What the fuck health bars question mark?
Yeah, with the smiley face. It's so ridiculous. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? God. Yeah, so to surmise the whole thing, there's a couple of good points in there. I think earlier in the list, they made some good points that mostly were for beginners. Sounds like they are beginners, though, so they might be trying to help themselves. Not trying to throw shade at them, but...
Especially Chris.
But yeah, Chris. And there's Mike in there, too. He's saying some crazy shit as well.
His aren't as bad, but yeah.
They want Monster Hunter to be a different game, though. I think they like the action. They just need the health bars. Other than that, the rest of the game should not be what it is, and add more content. So
I'll get a little red piece of paper and I'll just tape it to the top of your screen for you, and then you could think there's a health bar. You might get mad it's never going down, but it'll be there.
Yeah, and then when I yell across the mic that it's limping, go ahead and rip about fucking, I don't know, like 85% of that red bar and throw it away. And you can pretend that you got a health bar.
Mind numbing. All right.
Anything you want to say on any of that? I mean, I pretty much fucking cast some shade on these guys. That's kind of a bunk ass list. Make it shorter.
Allow multiplayer before the cutscenes. Like if they gotta like load after the cutscenes over, that's fine. But at least allow them to be in the party. I don't understand that at all. And give us a reason to at least go to the Gathering Hub. If not, allow us all to just interact with each other. Because the social aspect, I think, is missing, like you said, in this game versus the others. And I would like that because it just makes the game that much more. I mean, that's some of my favorite things in Phantasy Star, specifically Universe, was the fact that you could just like hang out in the mall area and goof off. So
that's the thing too, is these fucking dorks didn't have like good suggestions either. Just like make the game easier. Like, but they're like,
if you could tell the game to play for me, I'd appreciate that.
There should be an auto fight button. You hit the button and you wait, and then it fucking goes ding.
They're playing too many mobile games.
Yeah, fucking. Let us know in the comments. What do you think about the list we went through? Hopefully, you were just kind of going through and thinking about each and every one of them. I'd really like to know your opinions on them. If you agree with us, disagree with us, be civil with us. We like the civility. And if you don't agree with them, fucking welcome to the club on a lot of those things.
Or if you do and we argued against it and you have a valid point,
definitely
discuss it with us.
Maybe something we're missing.
Defend Chris. He needs it.
Or Chris in the article. Our Chris is somewhere.
Yeah. So that Chris got paid to put that on there, so I don't feel bad for him.
Talk to paid Chris, not paid Chris. And yeah, I think it's gonna do it for this taste cast. It did pretty good for two of us.
Yeah,
that went on for fucking ever. And yeah, make sure to join the Discord. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of Taste Cast. Though, make sure to like, subscribe, enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out the streams at Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. Make sure to hit the bell button when you follow me, because then you'll get notifications. People are not getting those, and that's a better way to go with that. And yeah, if you miss them, they're on the channel. I upload them. What else am I missing?
You usually say what Chris's Twitch is, but he's not here.
Oh yeah, he's tasty_fruit. And yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Until the next episode, which will be next Tuesday for Tasty Tuesday. And next week we are doing Plus Club and Game of the Month, so play those games so we can talk about them.
Last chance.
Yep. Have a good weekend, guys, and take it easy.